Morning, Holy Apostles. I want to welcome everybody, but also explain that we are going to be opening up the parish, but we're going to just start with a crack and then over 4 stages open up for everybody. But our main concern, our top priority, is the health and safety of our parishioners. So I do want to do this, but in phases where we keep everybody safe. So there's going to be 4 phases, but just to be clear, as long as everything goes as planned, we'll keep the 4 phases. So the first phase is stage 1, May 1st through the 17th. And what we ask is anybody who is vulnerable to please still attend Mass online. We're going to be keep the online streaming for a while. So if you're in one of the vulnerable groups, please stay online. And also, we're going to start this communion distribution outside of Mass. And I have to admit, this goes against really a healthy Eucharistic spirituality. So theologically and liturgically, in normal times, I would be against this. However, now we're not in normal times. And there is in the rite a right for the distribution of communion in emergency situations and hospital situations. So we're going to enact that right. And so along St. Ignatius, we're going to distribute communion in people's cars. And what we ask is that you stay in the car, drive up, and keep the mask on. We'll distribute communion, but we'll give you a prayer to say beforehand, communion, and a prayer afterwards, because we do want to try and keep this as sacred as possible. And as I said, normally I'd be very much against things like this. But if it's granted for emergency situations and medical conditions, well, I consider all of Meridian and Eagle a type of hospital. We're in quarantine, and so we are going to distribute communion beginning on May 17th at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., and 1 p.m. And we'll do this at all the Sundays and all the stages. And it'll be right in front of St. Ignatius. Also, we're going to be giving general absolution in the parking lot. So once again, stay in your vehicle. And then starting on May 13th at 7 p.m., Friday, May 15th at 8 a.m., and Saturday, May 16th at 1:30. And come park in the parking lot. We'll have a penance service with general absolution. Now, the Pope has granted general absolution in this Corona time. So we're going to do this. And then we're going to do it the following week. Wednesday, May 20th at 7 p.m. Friday, May 22nd at 8 a.m. and Saturday, May 23rd at 3:30 p.m. So we staggered the times in the next 2 weeks simply because early in the morning, so in case people have to go to work or late in the evening. But once again, in the parish here, it'll be in lockdown. So there won't be any ministry meetings or gatherings or receptions. Now, that's stage 1. But remember, if things get really bad, then we're going to lock it down even tighter. If things get better, everything is subject to change. Stage 2 is May 18th to June 19th. Once again, we'll continue distributing communion right in front of St. Ignatius. Masks are required. And the parish office will be open at this phase 2, but by appointment only. Now, the Sunday Masses, we have so many people waiting for sacraments. The Sunday Masses in this phase will be for those who are waiting the sacraments. RCIC, RCIA, First Communions, and confirmations. That'll take up 3 weeks right there. So beginning May 18th, the Adoration Chapel will be open, but from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And we'll have an hour before that of these protocols on disinfecting, actually both the Adoration Chapel and the church. Masks are required for doors. We'll still practice social distancing with pews marked out, but the Adoration Chapel is only open to those who are scheduled. Beginning June 15th, we'll have limited seating for weekday masses. We'll probably have some pre-registration for that. So with weekday masses, normally we get about 200 people for weekday masses, and we should have about 200 designated seating in the church for weekday masses. But what I'm asking is this: if you're fortunate enough to be able to go to the weekday masses, when a weekend mass comes, if you're able to go to a weekday mass, maybe let other people go to a weekend mass. So stage 3, June 20th to July 20th. Once again, if you're vulnerable, please attend Mass online. The parish office will be open to the public in this phase, but we'll still practice social distancing. So that's mask and 6 feet apart. We'll continue with distribution of communion. And on June 20th at 3:30 on Saturdays, we'll have confessions, but once again, practicing social distancing and masses. The weekend masses starting on June 20th will have limited seating, and you can register online. So there's limited seating, so please register online. Once again, we'll require people to have masks and social distancing and sanitizing your hands. Then in off hours, we'll sanitize the church again. Everything will be locked down except for the church and the bathrooms. During this week, we'll have weddings and funerals and baptisms on a limited basis, but there's still no meetings or gatherings in the church. Just once again, depending on how the coronavirus turns out, this is still subject to change, just in case we have to lock down and things get bad. So stage 4, and we encourage, once again, all those who are vulnerable to attend Mass online. We'll still have communion of distribution in your vehicle, practicing safety with masks on. There's limited seating again on weekday masses, so you can continue with that with social distancing and masks. And there will be receptions and gatherings with strict cleaning and social distancing protocols. So once again, it just depends upon how this unfolds, but we're going to start the church. We're going to crack the door open slightly, and then do hundreds of sacraments for our first communion and baptisms, and then open the church up to the general public. So we're going to start with a crack and then wider and wider and wider as long as everything remains safe. So my main concern is I want to protect my parishioners and slowly open up the church. So that's our operational plan for opening up the parish. So we'll be putting this online. Other than that, stay healthy and safe. God bless you.